Howdy.
All
Sorry
right.
about that.
Hello. Elon's trying to stop us. He's trying to silence us. Sorry about that, everybody. OBS was just doing something fucky, but
Yeah,
so
OBS.
it was not the anti-woke mind virus trying to silence us, as far as we know.
As far as we know, open source. OBS is open source, so it could be like that that shit in the FOSS software where somebody noticed a couple milliseconds of lag, and it turns out that this like contributor, this person who had been a fucking contributor for years and years was actually like a fucking either Russian or CIA operative, like implanting backdoors into the into the fucking
Oh, we
software.
love it.
So
Good
it might
shit.
be Elon funded operatives, but it probably not.
Yeah,
Probably it's just I
but
installed a
yeah,
plugin that's bad.
there's a lot. There's a lot attached to each other here. But based on what I'm seeing in the chat, the last thing that I said before it cut off was talking about Elon Musk being unstable, and it cut off right after.
Okay.
So, just to recomplete that thought, he's had lots of children with lots of people, lots of exes, lots of surrogates. He has almost no role in his life for most of those kids, other than X, his first kid with Grimes, who
Yeah.
he still also just treats like a prop. So, it's a very consistent portrait of this person has emerged as not knowing anything about his kids and being just like drugged out all the time posting, which is not surprising to any of us.
No. No. Yeah. Um. But anyway, it's great to hear Vivian taking control of this narrative. And I'm sure it fucking uh drives him insane. So that's also great. Um. And so to back up a little bit, what's really funny to me about this is so I think I'm there's this post that I'm sure there's more details, and I'll see if you can help me remember everything. But to back up a little bit, before this happened, first of all, Elon Musk pledged, like, I think after Trump got shot at, Elon Musk pledged like fucking $34 million a month or some crazy shit um to the Trump campaign. Did you hear about that? Um and
Yeah.
and then a little bit later, so he was just kind of having unhinged moment in regarding to this stuff. And so a couple things happened in quick succession. um Elon Musk says the Democratic Party is stoking division, and it is the censorship party. I believe this is when when Joe Biden dropped out and Kamala got um uh like nominated, because basically a bunch of fucking people. I mean, Donald Trump was fucking melting down on Truth Social because everybody knew that like Joe, like, whether or not she's actually gonna fucking win, Joe Biden was a fucking slam dunk, and so now they're all mad that like, but we want our slam dunk
Mhm.
candidate. Um,
Right.
so they're all fucking melting down, including Elon Musk, and so he says the Democratic Party is censorship party, and then Elon Musk has said America is going bankrupt, and then he followed Grimes, all in fucking quick
Oh,
succession.
oh my God. Now listen. Okay, so as people know, I follow the Grimes hate subreddit, which is r/Grimes, the way she spells it right here with a
Mm-hmm.
ZS. And all they do, these two motherfuckers, is they follow and they unfollow each other. They follow
Right.
and they unfollow each other. And then Grimes will post a picture of herself with her boyfriend. Elon will unfollow. Grimes will refollow. Then she'll make a post about Elden Ring to try and get his attention. And then Elon Musk's current other baby mama, Siobhan Zealous, she'll make a post about all of this Elden Ring jewelry she's collecting and, trying to get the Elon like. And then Grimes will
Oh,
unfollow. And then
oh,
Elon will unfollow. And then they'll
oh,
block each other, and then they'll unblock each other. Sometimes this will all happen in the course of a week. Like, go to the Grimes hate subreddit if you want, or the Grimes critical if you want subreddit. They are teenagers. It's
oh,
awful.
oh my God. Do you remember why
Yeah.
he unfollowed this time?
I think there's
Before,
a
well,
lot of stuff happening
before this,
before
right?
this refollow. Right. Yeah,
Right.
because then he unfollowed again yesterday, which we'll get to. The last time there's a lot of custody battle stuff happening behind the scenes. Grimes has their 2 other kids,
Yeah.
Auto Technica or whatever, and Exadark Sidereal Musk. But she's
And
been really fighting to get
and
custody of X.
Siobhan is the head of Neuralink, right? Or
Right.
right.
Yes. She's the head of Neuralink, who has had twins with Elon by surrogate, but they also maybe live together. They're really close. She kind of became like his kind of primary like baby mama that he hangs out with. I don't even know what their relationship is, if it's romantic or what. But
Yeah.
yeah. Yes, and yes, they did have 3 kids. Grimes had a secret 3rd baby. Like Auto Technicus or whatever, and that came out in the Vanity Fair article where she was trying to hide it upstairs when the interviewer was there.
Oh yeah, that's
We had previous episodes about this.
yeah, that's the one that's named after the Warhammer 40K
Right.
group. That's like the
Yes.
explicitly fascistly named child.
Right. So they have been unfollowing and refollowing each other and been in each other's replies or not, based on presumably how the custody battle has been going. And
Right.
Grimes also has an alt account that is private, but people follow friends of hers who follow that account. And so people have been able to pick apart, this is fucked up, this is parasocial. It is. Okay. But based on people's replies to her, you could tell times when it was like, people were saying, oh, that's so great that your guys are reunited, referring to her and X or things like that.
Right.
So sometimes, by all accounts, she's been kind of playing nice with Elon, and they've been kind of in each other's mentions in a friendly way. And that's probably when things are legally going well. And then other times it's worse. And also, again, I really will, believe the Grimes was being abused. I think Elon abuses all of his partners.
Right.
Narrative. So when you're in an abusive relationship, there are peaks and valleys in how clear in your mind it is that things are fucked up.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
and again, the whole Grimes deep dive that we've done, you can read more about or listen to more about that.
She reminds me so much of like a personal friend who has gone through a lot of these same arcs with abusive partners. It's just it's very sad. And that again doesn't absolve her of the, all the white supremacy shit. But in Grimes' case, not my friend's case, I don't think anyway. But yeah. So anyway, part of the reason we're here is we're all very proud of Grimes today, or last night. Let's see. Do you have?
I have it pulled up on screen right now.
You would have to. Do you have
to
re?
I'm sharing right now.
Okay, I just have to put it back in OBS.
Yeah. So yeah, just let me know when that's up. Both her main post and her reply here are actually really good. Okay. So this is after Vivian posted her threads debunking Elon's narrative. Grimes tweeted, "I love and am forever endlessly proud of Vivian," which Vivian reposted on threads as a screenshot with a heart as well. I also really like this reply. This person just said something about like, oh, Vivian was created in God's image and we shouldn't change what God created, your usual transphobic shit. And Grimes said, God gave us hands to build cathedrals, rockets to the moon. It's clearly divine to make use of God's greatest gift to humanity, which is creativity.
Yeah.
So
I think the arc of why we're following Grimes is because we really do feel like she's in this abusive partnership thing that is really fucking her over, and like we're wanting her to get out of it. So even because, and especially because it's like, that doesn't forgive the fucked up things that she's said, but it does help to understand it. And I think it's really important to understand how fucking complicated people are and all this shit. And so it's like, I mean, yeah, we care about the specific person because, she
She's my blorbo.
right, yeah. And
But
I do think it is elucidating of like we're just like it you just have to hope that this makes her think like, is this really the guy that I want to fucking, that I actually am trying to get back with, or whatever the fuck is happening there.
right. And she did post that. I'm pretty convinced that that Reddit thread under an anonymous account uh, that she posted allegedly a few years ago, saying basically like I'm with this boyfriend that made me go no contact with my mom, who's always trying to convince me that feminism is cancer and like break me down and all of this stuff. Like everything lines up, all of the birth dates, all of her kids and everything. The whole relationship lines up with that Reddit, and we know she's a Redditor, and she deleted it as soon as people clocked that it was Grimes. Like that really speaks to uh, just how much I don't think this doesn't happen in every abusive relationship, but I don't think people always necessarily know from the outside how much it really does warp your values system.
Yeah.
Um, enduring being treated that way, and when you're just bonding yourself to an abuser, you do try to adopt their point of view and try to understand it because you love them and you empathize with them, and it's hard to make sense of what they're doing otherwise. And
Yeah.
so it is a really complicated, dark part of this kind of stuff to talk about. And again, it doesn't have to excuse anything she's done. Like she sucks. I get it. But it does really warp you. And that's part of what's so horrible. It makes it hard for you to even ever leave because you think, well, I deserve this because I'm just like this person, because you've
Yeah.
internalized their value system, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like I said, it really reminds me a lot of people I've seen go through that, and that same shit where, this person is not, the abusive partner is like shitty politically and
mhm.
the person my friend is like, I don't really know her situation now, but I have dark worries about it, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I've definitely experienced, and like they wear you down. They don't just wear you down and break you emotionally; they break you down politically too, and like fuck up your way of thinking
Right.
about the world, and that makes you even more disgusted with yourself and alienated in a deeper way, even than just like, oh, they won't let me see my mom, they won't let me talk to my friends. Like it alienates you from yourself.
Yeah.
Um, and so, I just noticed there's somebody in the replies here
Yeah.
on the
Hold
Grimes
on.
post.
Hold on. Yep. Uh,
Hello, Natalie. Another person we're rooting for.
yes. Despite allegations to the contrary, we are rooting for Natalie for sure.
Yes. Two
uh,
people we hope get better.
yeah. So I also saw Lena Mel said, by the way, Adaptus Mechanicus, which is who the third Grimes kid is named after, I believe, uh, are like a cult of technology worshipping cyborgs whose core belief is that everything worthwhile to be invented has already been discovered in the past, and trying to discover new technology is heresy. Oh, and AI is banned and they use human brains in a jar instead. If you try to make AI, they use your brain and forget to remove consciousness.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
I didn't I was curious about that because I know it's from 40K, and the thing I know about 40K is that it's like basically the whole universe is like, well, the universe is like, we opened up doors to the chaos realm and now everything is so fucked up that fascism is the only thing that like can survive. And I mean, at its best, I think there's a lot of different writers, but it's my understanding is that at its best it is a satire of fascism, a la Starship Troopers the movie, right? Where it's like at its best it's
Mhm.
like making fun of it, but you don't unironically love the emperor, right? Like like that shit is really fascist. Like people will ironically love the empire if they're into 40K because like, yeah, the god emperor, like, but like that shit is really like it's impossibly fascist, like sci-fi
Mhm.
fantasy levels of impossibly fascist. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
the death cult is like world obliterating
right,
level.
right,
Like genocidal on a level that just hasn't been technically possible on
right,
this planet until now.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corin, like Helldivers. Yeah, Helldivers is almost Starship Troopers, the video game, in my opinion. Like, it's got differences, but that's clearly the inspiration. Um,
Yeah.
hopefully
So
we're.
then, after Grimes made that tweet, Elon unfollowed her last night. So that's shock.
Shock.
Yeah. Actually, let me check right now and see if she's following him. I
Yeah.
really don't know. It looks like no. Yeah, she might not have followed him back this last time.
Yeah, talk about talk. I'm sure this is a who's who of white nationalists in there
Oh
in that
yeah.
following list of
Oh
Grimes.
yeah. Again, besties with the based camp natalist couple and Palladium magazine. Grimes was just at a big wedding for one of those like kind of alt-right tech fascist people. So as much as we might hope for her to have this quick heel face turn, if it's gonna happen, it's not happening that quick. But
No,
so
no,
that's why I was almost even surprised to see her do this. So
it is really surprising. I do think that trans issues are something that she really does, um, like believe in her heart, because the transphobic things she said are like basically like scaremongering about birth rates shit, which
mhm.
she's like, well, if you're trans, you know can't have kids, and that's gonna destroy the earth, and by earth they mean white race.
Mhm.
But and it's like, huh, I wonder why you feel such connection with the trans community. No reason.
Grimes, it's not too late.
It's
It's
not too
never too
late.
late. Here's how Bernie could still win.
There's still time. Now that's a bumper we
There's
need.
still
There's still
time.
time.
Yes. Oh, yeah, we should get that one actually.
Yeah.
That'd be really good.
When it comes out, when it comes out on VOD, is it on VOD? I think it. Yeah, I think it's on VOD. I'll have to find it. Um, also, speaking of which, the People's Joker is coming to VOD like this week. Very exciting. So if you wanted to watch
Yes.
that, it will be available very soon. So anyway, is there is there anything else to say about that?
I think that about encompasses it. Yeah. That's the last 2 days in Grimes Elon Musk news.
Yeah.
A constantly developing beat that you can always count on me to report on.
Thank you, our roving reporter on the ground, and by on the ground we mean in the subreddit, in that one,
Posting. Yeah.
in that one Grimes subreddit.
Yes.
Oh,
uh I watched this one Grimes like iceberg video, one of those like 4-hour ones, and it was really well done, but I was so frustrated because there were several things in it that I was like, I know what this is referencing, but the person making the video doesn't. I'm having an autism fit.
oh my god. Is that the video? I mean, we've been talking about video essays. Is that the video essay we need to make?
Oh god. It would get numbers, that's for sure.
I mean, would she watch it? Could we get her to watch it? Is she like the kind of person that would watch it about, you know?
Grimes?
Yeah, is she the kind of person that would?
Oh, she reads everything about herself. You can really tell. She definitely reads the hate subreddit. She's been trying to get it taken down. So
So could we just do a video essay that's just like called like Dear Grimes? Like
I'm so cooked if I do that. Like but yes, I need to just give her unmasking autism, give her testosterone. Like I'm just please.
please.
God, I'm so parasocial.
All right, anyway. So did we have anything else? Should we jump into gender boards, gender mood boards?
We should. There's a whole wealth of
There's
stuff to look at. So
there's so much. There's so much. So where do we even
yeah.
start? Should we start with the ones in the Discord? Or maybe we could pepper them in so we could do a couple and come back to it.
Sure. Yeah. Well, actually, let's start with um something you said during my Baldur's Gate stream this week. That was gender mood board for you.
Yes.
So, and then I yelled at you for getting ahead of the show, and then I wrote it down. So I've been we've mentioned before on the stream my interest in femboy sapphism.
Yes.
Two femboys holding hands like on the fucked up repressed revolutionary girl Utna bed and being like soft and tender. And you introduced the kind of contrapositive of that lesbian yaoi, right?
Yeah, it's girl yaoi. Girl yaoi.
Thank you.
Yeah. God, I said that I was gonna look up this post that like I rotate around in my brain. But I'm never gonna find it on air. It was this post that was like, basically it was specifically, I think it was like, I need another trans girl to come and do girl yaoi shit with me, and it was like, play Xbox all night and then like jokingly pull each other's boxers down, and like, if somebody has that post, please, I'm not gonna be able to find it live, but it just like I should have saved it because it just fucking, I rotated around in my brain like a little, like there was somebody fucking posted, was it Gally that posted that fucking meme of like the stick figure in bed looking miserable with the thought cloud, and that one was of the fucking boot with the Hitachi that we got banned about.
Oh yeah, that we can't show.
Yeah, that we can't show. Like it's that, like I'm just doing that with that girl yaoi Tumblr post.
Yeah, because okay, and I think we can kind of make a mood board for you live on air as we kind of pierce through these things, because I want to make sure that I have like the right concentric circles here of things. Like I'm picturing like skater girls with like the really big shorts,
Yeah,
like the really wide shorts.
yeah.
And I like, let me know if I'm in the right territory, like Monster Energy.
Yeah,
like
absolutely. The flat bill
hat, like the kind of girls that wear like, again, the big shorts and like a white like wife beater like striped like tank top thing, maybe with the little like loose like, I don't know, chains and stuff like that.
Absolutely. I mean, that's who I was like in high school for sure. And like I even wore like women's clothes and shit way before I knew I was trans. I specifically remember, this doesn't fit that aesthetic, but I wore these like pink corduroy pants, around women's pants all the time. Oh, steel ball necklaces. Ugh.
Yes. I love those things because they can be whatever size you want them to be.
Yeah.
Like, too big, just snip it. Clasps anywhere. Love a steel ball.
Yeah, I need to get one of those for sure. But yeah, I don't know if that's, I think that is, it's not so much that I want to inhabit that aesthetic, but that was the aesthetic of high school, and I completely put it away for like when I transitioned. And I do think that there's something there that I should bring back. And I don't know entirely what it is. Yeah. So part of the thing that I was thinking about, and I don't know how much to even get into this here, but like I definitely have been like thinking of like, been interested in butch aesthetics and like trying to figure out where that fits for me. And I was doing some Googling last night and trying like do some gender stuff, and it was interesting, and I made some observations about it that I hadn't really thought about. Like, I don't, like, first of all, it was interesting to me that basically I like, one thing that I had never really thought about as like butch being an identity that like is counter, like basically butch, like you can't flag butch in any way without wearing like, not necessarily men's clothes, but like shirt and pants, right? Do you agree with that? It was
No, but I think that's what a small non-expanded brain wants us to think. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I think that there
Like,
and I think for me with like I do feel a lot of kindred with butchness. But I also I feel like I have to like if I were to wear like jeans and a t-shirt, I would just read male. And I think this is a really normal thing for trans women, and I feel like it is also like so indicative of me being a fucking millennial. Like I transitioned 12 years ago, and it's like that was just so like I don't think I could conceive of myself as being butch at the time. um but I don't know. I don't think I have like a point here, but just like that is what's swirling around in my brain of like identifying like as a trans woman, identifying as butch. Like how do you identify as butch and then also like actually flag female? Like how do you actually present
mhm.
in a way that gets read as female? Because basically butchness is so much about like presenting in fashion wise in a male way. um so I think there are like there is an upright to split there, but I don't think I know where it is. Another interesting thing that I was because futch is also a thing that I've been thinking a lot about. Like what does that
Mhm.
mean? Could that apply to me? And one kind of frustrating thing that I discovered, and in looking at, at like Tumblr and Pinterest and stuff, just searching futch, and I was like, well, what does that really mean? Because that's something that I've never understood. Like, you see the chart, the like, what is it, Butch-Fem chart?
Yeah, the spectrum. Yeah, and unfortunately, you probably stumbled upon some of the discourse, didn't you, about Futch not being real,
Not
right?
really. I mean, I'm
Or that kind of
familiar.
shit.
I mean, I'm familiar with that, but the one thing that I noticed about um, just about like in looking at like just going on Pinterest and trying to find, okay, what does somebody who's futch like actually look like in the conception, right? Um,
Mhm.
one thing that I kind of noticed is I kind of feel like butch and futch a lot of times ends up just being like a bear to twink like dichotomy. Like literally I saw these people that were futch, that it was like the difference that I was seeing in the people that were identifying as futch rather than butch were just they were thin. Which isn't always true.
Well, fucked up, but true. Yeah, the androgyny equals thinness thing is
Right. Right.
a
um
big problem in people's brains.
right. And of course like um I don't believe that that's definitionally true. I mean, these definitions don't, there's no agreed upon anything, so it's whatever. But I was just like, I was surprised how much that was true in the just like searching for futch in Pinterest, what was coming up. I would say that there like the counters to that were like dressing basically butch, as in like probably like black jeans and a black like a black tank top is like kind of the standard, but not, you know, or like in a suit or something like that. Very traditionally masculine clothes. Whether sometimes and futch would sometimes be like masculine clothes in a female fit, like a suit but a little bit that was pants and shirt and tie and jacket, but a little bit more of a femme cut, or like dressing the same as like what comes up when you search butch, but then adding long hair and or makeup was like pretty
Mhm.
much the what I was finding. So it's just interesting, and I'm not talking about what should be, right? Like I think you can fucking dress however you want and then identify however you want. Um, but it was surprising. That was surprising to me that it was so much like that. That was how it's portrayed. Um, and I'm wondering like how do you portray, like how do you flag femininity in order to fucking pass? while
Mhm.
also while also flagging butchness, um, which is like obviously I shouldn't care about that, right? Like I should just be able to wear whatever the fuck I want. But there is a real like I don't feel comfortable. Like I there is a difference, right? In my fucking lived
Mhm.
experience, how I present. And I
Yeah.
definitely think fatness is like a part of this whole thing too, right? Like I used to be really thin, and that like more so, I really do think that more so like was flagged as female, mostly just because you could see the my like the breasts that I have and like hips that I the small amount of hips that I have and stuff like that is more visible on a thin body. Um, so yeah, I these were the things that I was kind of thinking about as I was trying to make a mood board last night, and I don't bring them up because I have like a thing to say about them, like a point. It's just like these are the uprights that are kind of difficult to, as like a trans woman who doesn't pass super well, like thinking about butchness and stuff. These are the things that come up for me, and the things sort of
Yeah.
swirling in my brain.
Lots of people in the chat are resonating with, even as they were trying to make mood boards, how hard it is to find depictions of fat bodies,
Yes.
period.
Yeah.
But in any kind of like variety of styles, whether it's androgynous, gender nonconforming, trans people who are fat, any kind of alt scene, all of those things. What gets depicted as fashionable and elevated for those things and worth
Yeah.
photographing um,
Yeah.
is on thin bodies. And so it's really hard to see oneself and wrap one's brain around, is it even legitimate for me to present in this way if you're fat and you just never fucking see it?
Right. Yeah.
Um,
I didn't even try to search for like fat representation in the things I was searching for, because I wasn't even finding like the thin representation I was like looking for of these like kind of like I think that I'm interested in some kind of like butch, like somewhere more in the middle of a Butch-Fem presentation, and I don't know, like I'm looking for some kind of upright there that I don't really know what it is. And so I was trying to just
mhm,
find that on like, a quote unquote normal, you know what I mean? Like this is what is presented. And of course none of those people are fat. And so it's like
right.
even without adding that like modifier of like looking for fat, of somebody who's bigger in those uprights, I couldn't find it. So I didn't even try. But that was like a thing I was thinking
Yeah.
the whole time, where it's like, you know, the butch futch dichotomy so much was just like, whether it's fatness or muscles, butches are allowed to be bigger, and then futch is just the same fashion but on a thinner person. Um,
Right.
and the closest I felt like I got to like somebody splitting the uprights in the way that I wanted to split them were just that they were fucking like had twink proportions in and wearing like more closer to butch fashion, which is obviously not
Right.
something I want or am capable of.
Right. Um, so yeah, so some of the, not being an expert, but just what I've like seen in the world, just like what comes to mind for me is like LHB, long-haired butch, that kind of aesthetic,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit, which you already mentioned having seen. I think a lot of stud fashion is a little bit more expansive
Yeah.
than what gets talked about as a butch presentation for white people.
Yeah.
Like you definitely see, and again, I'm just using long hair here as a modifier, but I think it does kind of change how people's looks are interpreted a little bit. Like you see
Yeah.
plenty of studs with long hair and braids and things like that who are wearing often a lot of like athletic clothing that's pretty loose, but it might be fitted in a certain way that still has like a little bit of femininity there, depending on the person's styling, or on the more dapper end of the spectrum too.
Yeah.
Um, Thinking in terms of just like my like like fashion taste brain, I don't know, like I'm thinking like waist dresses that are a little bit more like drop waist or less structured, right? With like a flannel over it, like that
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. I don't know if that would exactly be for you, but like
That was another
Like, what
that
are
was
the elements?
that was another really frustrating aspect of the search for me was like, well, butchness is putting on a cool jacket, which I vibe the fuck out of. I love a cool jacket, but that doesn't work when
Mhm.
it's 90 degrees. I love my leather
Right.
jacket and I think they're so gender. But it's not practical all the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to read some of these comments, which are really good. Mixing Butch and Cast Marissa, mixing Butch and Femme energies is so cool, but it's challenging to make it a coherent aesthetic and not just a mishmash. Um, yeah, Corey, and I do resonate with this gender expression doesn't feel available to me because of how I know I'll be perceived. Um,
Tomboy is skinny butch. Yeah.
yep.
Or yeah, like young. It's kind of almost like twink, kind of young
Yeah.
thing. Prioritizing those things.
Okay, I have not used. Here's another thing. Malosaurus says, just the availability of images in the aesthetic I'm drawn to that includes fat people. And yes, as we were talking about, but also, does Pinterest suck way fucking more now? Because I've basically only used it when I've wanted haircuts, and so I've not used it a lot. And I think Pinterest is maybe better for hair, like because a lot of people use it for that. So there's just more shit on it for hair. Like that is the thing I hear Pinterest used for is like if you want a haircut, use it for that, or like if you're trying to like make crafts for your children are like the biggest things people
Mhm.
use it for. So there's a bunch of hair
Yeah,
shit.
weddings, shit like that.
Right. So we're trying to use it. Finding gender shit is like you can find it, but it's not as big of a wealth. But half of it was just ads for clothes, and I was very. This was made much more difficult by how bad Pinterest is, and I've also heard for a lot of people use it for. I follow a lot of people that do like concept art, and a lot a lot of fucking people were like, yeah, that shit, when you search for that shit is all AI now. So they can't use it for that. I didn't see any
Mhm.
AI, but like that's an aspect to it too. So
Yeah. I just wanted to highlight something that Photo was sharing in the chat that like there's also such a difference in experience if you're a super fat or an infinifat, where the choices
totally.
you're looking at are like, here are the two or three places I know where I can get like a few clothing items that even fit me.
Right.
And there's no depictions of people like me, relatively speaking. Like that's a very different experience from
Right.
um like people were and people are not wrong to bring this stuff up, but like talking about like, oh, I'm straight size in America, but if I try to buy J fashion or like Korean fashions, I'm plus size, or people who are kind of on the margins. Um, and as Photo highlighted, fat phobia harms everyone. It's worth all of us interrogating, but also like it probably does feel pretty weird to hear like when you truly see like nothing
Yeah.
for yourself, like the gradients of people who still can see themselves in certain contexts and times, complaining about that. Um,
Totally. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Um a little toasty. Yeah, when I browse Pinterest and Firefox, half the page is empty because of my ad blocker. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, it's also how Pinterest just like populates from links. So people just use it to advertise things, I think.
Yeah. Um
Photo says, nobody forget how fat I am or else.
No, I'm endlessly grateful for you bringing this stuff up, and partly I feel more comfortable talking about this stuff because I know if I say some stupid shit, you're gonna call me out. Like, I really appreciate that a lot. Um,
Yeah, there's been a lot of good conversations happening in the Discord too about just like uh, people were having a discourse about it about the term like nasty sex pig, like gay, like pig bottom, and like
oh,
is that in the gay male world, and is that connected to anti-fatness, and
yeah,
this idea of like pigs are seen as dirty, pigs are seen as insatiable, which like not any
Right.
more than any other animal. In fact, less than a lot of animals. So is it just because they are fat in a particular way? That was really
Um,
interesting to read.
yeah, yeah. That's why I love these conversations, because it's like there's so many little alleyways to go down. Um, One thing that I'm constantly surprised about when I look at stuff about butchness is like, because I'm a pretty goth person, like there's a whole fucking rabbit hole we can go down about gender and shit. Haven't you said goth is a gender? Isn't that your
Goth is trans. Yeah, goth is trans. Goth is a gender. Yeah, I think it like puts a little stink on it. Like feminine presentations that would have been that were deeply dysphoric to me. If you made it goth or edgy or whatever, then it
Yeah.
was totally comfortable and fine. Like, you know.
I thought that I just saw when I was looking for that goth femme butch um you know like
The little spectrum, yeah.
spectrum. I found this also came up, which is
Oh, okay.
very interesting to me. I
Oh,
love this.
we got to zoom in on some of these. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what property this is.
It's weird to say goth is the opposite of femme. Like that's not true, but I like what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't think they're really saying goth is the opposite of femme. I think they're just saying it's like this is a 3-axis chart, right? And butch, femme, and goth are all different axes, right? So it's not saying it's opposite of
Yeah.
those necessarily. It's just saying it's another. If like if this if like it seems to me that what they're saying is this right here. Oh, what, I'm on the wrong. Like this is just this, but you've added another axis to it to be goth. Yeah, it's Total
Right,
War
so like
Warhammer Legendary Lords. Do you know these people? Because I don't know any of these people. So if you could comment on if you think this is accurate, I would love to know.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just like there is obviously such a thing as like high femme goth, like Lady Demetresque or something, you know? Like, so like seeing them, I would see goth as a modifier, I guess is what
Right.
I would say. Yeah. So this display method doesn't quite work in terms of variables for me, but
Sure.
like I like what they're trying to do for sure. Foth.
Yeah, the names are really fun. Foth is really fun. Butch and
Gotch.
Gotch
Is really good.
Gotch is really good. But it was really interesting in looking at Butch, like looking at pictures of butches, it just in like, Googling. I also went on TikTok. That was also another one. Although it was really frustrating because I was searching for butch on TikTok and it actually autocorrected. TikTok does this weird thing I've never seen where it didn't autocorrect it to bitch, but it was showing me both results for butch or bitch. And it was very strange. Like literally it was highlighting the word bitch as if I had searched for it. Because I actually specifically searched like goth are butches in a dress. Because I was curious, like, is there a way to like present that way? Is that possible? And literally it was like some of the results were like auto-correcting to bitch in a dress. And it was like, it's weird, and I tried it with quotes. Like you can't do quotes or anything. It's
Wow.
very weird.
That's very fucked up, especially just
Right.
that combination.
Right.
Like somebody trying to look for like butch affirming stuff, and then they get like misogyny.
It wasn't
Very
misogyny.
cool.
It wasn't actually misogyny. It was just like I'm that bitch in a dress. But it was like I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure if I scrolled far enough, like I mean, it was misogyny. It was just like reclaimed misogyny, but like still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Photo asks, what's the intersection between high femme goth and Lolita? My mind overlaps them. Yeah. But what I was seeing a lot is like goth actually, or excuse me, butch is actually really commonly goth. Like that was a thing that I don't feel like I see it. I definitely don't see it in popular culture ever. Like, is there like what like are there ever goth butches in a show? Like, is that I have
I'm thinking like Gideon the Ninth, like that book. Everybody that all the lesbians are so feral for, but like not on TV very often because you barely see any butch women on TV. Period. Like
right where
or
well
movies at all.
it's this thing where it's like every character can only have one thing about them, like they're black or they're disabled or they're butch or yeah right like right like most of it's not always true, but I feel like it's very much like you know you can't have a somebody with that's like multiply disabled and or, you know and has all these different gender identities, even though most of the time that's the way it works. Like if you're queer, you're gonna have all of these different kind of identities that you're kind of vibing with, but
Yeah. Well, it's just also that like actual butch representation is so rare. Like you
yeah,
don't actually see somebody who's like you might see like
absolutely.
somebody with a Kate Gosselin haircut from 2010 and be like, "Oh, this is a butch lesbian on TV." And it's like an incredibly like feminine, again, usually thin,
Right.
pretty actually gender conforming woman, except like, ooh, she's wearing dress pants or something. Ooh, you know.
Who's the twink in the L Word? Uh
A Shane. Yes.
yeah, that is to me like there's a meme on Twitter I've seen a lot where someone will be like, "Oh my god, look how hot this butch is," and it's like not. So it's
Not
like
a
somebody
butch.
right, it's somebody with short hair.
Yeah.
Which again, it's not even that like, you know, it's not like we're trying to gatekeep it. It's just like that's like and the meme is you repost it with like this is the butchest a woman can look before Twitter gets scared. And
Yeah.
I really
Right.
do think that Shane is the epitome of that to me. Um, like because I mean on the have only seen the first couple episodes of it. It was very hard to watch. I was not expecting how racist that shit got very in the first
It's
fucking three
so
episodes.
bad. Very racist, very transphobic, very transmisogynistic. And they do later have Eileen Chaikin, who made this show, hates butches. Like the characters have a whole discussion about how butchness is retrograde. Um,
Wow.
and this does connect back to it being butch being a working class aesthetic. And
Yeah.
these are all super rich, like Hollywood industry lesbians. And so they do have a whole scene where they all talk about how much they hate butchness,
Wow.
including this character. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But this to me is the epitome of like this is the butchest a woman can look before y'all get scared. Um
mhm.
and it's a great look. And I definitely wouldn't I mean, it's definitely on that spectrum for sure, but it's definitely not butch. That's just not where your this is the butchest I've seen should end.
No. You could maybe say futch depending on the outfit and the situation. But
Yeah,
again, also like super skinny
right,
character, and that's doing a lot of the heavy lifting as well.
right. Um
Totally.
um lot you got a lot of people excited. Woo Gideon mention. Yeah, I've never heard of this, so I'm
Oh
going to have to
yeah, I
investigate
had
for
a
sure.
I got a few asks a while ago that said like, "Oh, you look like a Gideon the Ninth character," and I was like, "You misgendered me. I'm gonna kill you!" Like, which I've since gone into why that stuff is so triggering. But you know, I'm over it. I'm sorry, lesbians. I owe lesbians apologies all the time.
As is known Devon lore.
Yes, I have a karmic debt to the lesbian community. So, um,
But
but
anyway,
yeah, yeah,
this yeah, and you know, I think that I should be clear. This conversation is very much to people that don't necessarily are not experts in this. So this was I want to make that clear in case anybody is feeling frustrated by that, because yes, it is. Neither of us are claiming to be, super knowledgeable on this stuff. But it is worth talking about. Maddie, come closer. I'm just a normal book series. But anyway, this came from, we started talking about girl yaoi. And we didn't, I just want, like, I want the whole, like, what is is it femboy sapphism? Like, what is you've used this phrase and I think I get it, but I just, like, I want to know the whole, like, what makes it sapphic to you? Like, I don't know. I just want to know more about what's in your brain when you think femboy sapphism. Like, do you have any example? Like, what is the example?
Well, part of some of it is just stuff that I've done with somebody, and I was like, wait a second. This is something, we're on to something here. And a lot of it,
I gotta tell everybody, have you heard about touching yourself? It's like a kid that, like, learns about master, like, has anybody done this before?
Has anybody else just, like, made out with a twink, like, in a schoolgirl skirt? Wow. Like, and we were both femboys? Whoa. Like, so a lot of it has to do with, like, there's, like, all this, like, hyper masculinity that I'm often grappling with in a lot of the gay male kink community. Like, the leather world famously prides itself on, like, Larry Townsend's, like, landmark book about leather from, like, the 70s or the 60s says, like, oh, we rescued gays from being effeminate. Like, we're so butch and masculine that we rescued homosexuality from effeminacy. And it's not as bad today, but you're still surrounded in, like, this worship of, like, muscles and strength and mustaches and motorcycles and big cigars and, Solid Snake. And we love that. We love her. But it can leave you feeling like you're really unappealing and out of place if you're not that. And you're not even really, like, it's not possible for you. It's not really what you're aspiring to. And then there's also that thing that ContraPoints, Natalie Wynn, talks about, of people conflating people's gender and their body with their sexual role and their sexual position with whether they're dominant or submissive, right? So, like, big masculine guys must be tops, feminine boys must be bottoms and must be submissive, and those are two pieces that lock into each other, and that's all that happens, right? So, like, if you're kind of feminine or whatever, you need to be a bottom, and you need to find, like, a more masculine guy who, like, wants you, even though most of those masculine guys, like, they want other masculine guys. And that you see plenty of, like, in a lot of gay male porn. There's a lot of, like, super muscly guys, two of them together.
Bara.
But I want to see the opposite. But yeah, the big bar titties. And again, we stand. And it's in a lot of leather stuff too, like masculine guys looking for other masculine guys. It's obviously a meme, mask for mask and stuff like that. So I want, and when I've experienced it, it's been very nice. The opposite of that, like, that this effeminacy, this male femininity, and, a lot of the ways that, like, it's sometimes kind of unfortunate, and some lesbians get tired of this with good reason, but there's ways people talk about, like, lesbian sexuality that's, like, soft and sensual and tender and egalitarian and all this stuff.
And longing and lesbian yearning and that kind of aesthetic.
Yeah. Right. Which can be cheapening if that's all you see. But I just want to see a little taste of it for the femboys. And there's a few subreddits, like there's a dominant femboys subreddit. That's kind of cool, but it's all hentai.
Is
like,
there?
It's all very.
I have a friend I need to tell about that one.
Yeah, I gotta go. And so, like, and again, it's still through this, like, it's hard even to still, like, put it out there, like, to even, if you are kind of, like, more of a feminine twinkie, whatever, to even put it out there that you're looking for other people like that too, that you're open to other people like that too.
Yeah. I just searched femboy sapphism on Tumblr and got 2 posts. So
are they mine?
No, I don't. Well, I guess it's searching as a tag, so I don't know if you tagged it that way. Or yeah, these are showing up with the tags femboy and the tag sapphism.
Mm.
Yeah, Tumblr search is so bad. I guess I should be using Google and doing site colon tumblr.com, right?
Yeah, yeah. Tumblr search is broken, completely broken. Um, Emma Heed says dogs are boys and cats are girls. That's literally what it is. The like gender two. It's gender two, the same gender as before, with all these things being equated.
Yeah. So do you have any good rep of it?
Um,
And maybe there's
I
not,
don't
you know.
I don't think so. I think there is some yaoi that kind of gets there, But I think
Yeah.
that's part of what the thing is that's so frustrating is that it's always cartoons. It's always like 19-year-olds,
Yeah.
like
Not to mention
and it's a
thin and
frustrating thing.
white.
And thin and white and all that shit. And
Yeah.
like and it frustrates me sometimes too about femboy discourse sometimes when people are like, oh, femboys aren't real. They all just like need to transition, or rightfully pointing out a lot of the problems with these depictions. Like where like there has to be some space for just like being feminine and effeminate that isn't equating all of these things, and that you can be any age
Yeah.
and you're not just fulfilling in people's minds like a woman role in a relationship to a man who's more masculine. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's just not. Yeah, where's the DILF femboys? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is a sad screen. This is very sad.
Oh,
This is a sad state of affairs we're in, fam.
yeah, yeah.
This is
I just.
I should probably be careful.
Oh
Safe
yeah,
search.
probably. Is safe search on?
It wasn't. It is now.
Okay. Yeah, it was just yeah.
Yeah, this is like femboy and sapphism, which I'm not really. God, even this is like barely like look how few results even this is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just not out there. And I have seen some depictions of like butch for butch relationships that are like, okay, that kind of like how they identify is different, but also sometimes they do like, people get crazy with it. People, blur the lines.
I do think that there's actually one of the few things that comes up that actually feels like close to what we're talking about on that search is furry, which doesn't really surprise me.
Yes.
I think that there's a lot of and I mean there's so much we could talk about there too of like there's like I don't even know where to begin with it. There's almost like there's like a I feel like maybe this is the wrong way to describe it, but very much a fetishization of I know that's a whole thing too in general, not just in furry, but like fetishization of like feminine men. And it's like, and then that can so quickly turn into transphobia, right? Where it's like, oh, this person is not a trans woman. This is a feminine man because that's hotter. They're like backlash to fucking, Finster, thank you. But then I also see there's so many different politics angles to this stuff because I do see fucking people that identify as femboys on Twitter fucking being transphobic. Like not like I don't think they think of themselves as transphobic. It's not this like outward, but it's like doing the trans misogyny thing. Like yeah, the politics here are really complicated too, which makes it harder to, God, this is so unrelated. Well, not entirely, but this came up too. Do you know this person?
This cosplayer? I think I've seen them, yeah.
She's like really famous in China. For like they're doing some really cool shit in China. There's some really cool lesbianism happening in China that I'm a big fan of. I don't think I remember enough of the story. There's also some crazy shit where like maybe she like that people are saying that maybe she killed her abusive rich husband, which
Oh,
is wild.
cool. Great.
Yeah, there's some story
Yeah.
there. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Ukrainian girl
But
whose
I think
husband mysteriously disappeared during a boat ride. Yeah. Um
good for her.
Good for her.
Cosplay, I think, does offer a lot more complexity in terms of a lot of these things.
Totally.
E- Even though, again, it is a world that worships light skinned, thin people, but like
Right.
people do reimagine a character in a different era, in a different presentation, um, like bringing their own elements of self to bear into a version of a character. Um, just like what characters they decide to dress up as, regardless of their own identity. Like, there's a lot of cool shit happening there.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to find something in my bookmarks, and I will just point out this needs to go on my gender mood board.
Yes.
That's really good.
I love, and we'll get to people's mood boards pretty soon, but like,
Yeah, I think we should get
I
into that.
love anybody who used like natural imagery or objects and things as part of it. Not again, because we've been talking a lot about fashion and stuff like that, and it is inherently limiting because of a lot of factors. One of them just being like having a body,
Yes.
an embodiment being the end of somebody's identity. And like furry stuff, it makes it so much easier. Cosplay, furry stuff, fan art, things where you're just imagining someone outside of like a physical human form that they're like bounded to helps. But also, I mean, shout out to everybody who just like a friend of mine texted me saying we were doing mood boards today, and they said I'm a black hole,
Yes. Oh, we
Nonsense.
should bring up shit, what is it called? That subreddit. Uh Void Gender? No. Void Gender? I'll find it. Here's another thing from my bookmarks that's last
What a
she's
beautiful horse.
yeah, she's definitely me. She's got long beautiful hair and a big nose. She's
Oh,
me.
she's gorgeous. And they're likening that tweet is likening her to Lord in the Charlie XCX song. That's what that's.
Oh, really? Yes.
Yeah, the remix. Yeah. Very good.
I gotta work it out in the remix with this horse.
We gotta work it out.
They tell us.
I literally, the line is, "I ride for you, Charlie." So, nay.
Yeah, me and that horse. People would go crazy. The internet would go crazy if we were on the same song. Oh, I can't.
Very good.
Oh, I can't find it. There was this really good video of these Chinese cosplayers on stage, just doing just really important things in the world of sapphism, but it's not coming up.
Should we dive into some people's? Oh wait, did you find it?
No, but again, I'm just scrolling through my bookmarks, and this is a man. I think this should be on somebody's gender mood board. It's not mine. I'm sorry, this is a total tangent, but have you seen this guy?
Oh yeah, I love this guy.
This guy is really important, and I just want to just be as a transition into people's actual mood boards.
I love. I
probably have to.
I don't know what it is, but I'm weak for people like this.
Like, this guy scares the shit out of me. Actually, like
I like that.
I know. I like would genuinely be, and he's so good. Like this was the video that first went famous, but I've seen a bunch of other shit since then. Where he's like being way more silly too, which is just this guy is so fucking good. You have to just imagine the song that started, because it'd probably get taken down.
Yeah, it's the Lux Eterna song, or whatever it's called. Oh my god, just working out at the club, like, I want to be his Harley Quinn. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes,
I
yes.
want him to set me free. You know, I want to be acting like this at the club. I want to be doing pull-ups, but I need him to push me in the vat of acid first. So I'll be his therapist, and then he can make me worse.
Yeah, he needs to go in the
I'm ready.
dollhouse. He needs to go in the dollhouse
Yes.
for sure.
Oh,
Somebody's got to help me figure out how to remove backgrounds from videos easily, because that's not a thing I can do right now. But anyway, so let's transition to some mood boards. Who
yeah.
do I know you have some stuff? Do we want to start with you, or do we want to?
Let's look at some people's, because people made some really goated ones. Mine, I mean, I can always post mine. None of mine will be surprising, and people will look at it and be like, "Dude, you're already there." So like, whatever. So like,
there's a bunch more in here now too. There's a bunch more since we started.
So I'm at the top of the list on my screen share. If we want to start there,
yeah.
If that's cool.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so this is from Orion, she, they. And she says, "Here's mine. I'm Butch, by the way." Let me see if I can make it bigger. Yeah, here we go. Oh. So we got a lot of like really nice kind of like florals and greens, some like kind of alt wear, tattoos, like small delicate floral tattoos. Green glasses. I thought this was Troye Sivan at first.
That video. I mean that video where Troye Sivan is cross-dressing. I mean there's a fucking talk about a gender goal.
And that's a mood board. One of your girls, the desperation and patheticness of the lyrics is what makes it a mood board for me.
Yeah, this is really strong. There's so many things. Again, we're talking about, you know, butches in dresses, and, you know, somebody identifying as Butch, putting that dress, you know. There's so much, there's a lot here that's really good.
Yeah, there's like a little bit of like, there's lots of glasses, lots of kind of like academia, but also like, I'm using the TikTok words, sorry, but like cottagecore, academia, but like, I mean that in a nice way. I don't mean that in a shitty way. Like,
I would like to quietly read a book beside this mood board. Very good.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Here's a thing. Please steal from other people from these mood boards. I think that's really important.
Yes. So yeah, I really loved this one, and the range. Part of what like makes a mood board, I think, really like satisfying is when you see things that are not all the exact same thing over and over again, but they enhance each other and modify each other.
Yep.
By being next to each other.
Yeah, there's themes in here. There's themes in here that are rhyming.
Yes, and also ones that are kind of different and like not always combined with each other, and that's why you need a mood board, because there isn't somebody already doing it.
Yep.
You know? It's not just depicting, here's, you know, 10 of the same twink that all look just like me. Though mine is fairly guilty of that. Like, but when you're combining different things that haven't been seen together before, because we lack that like representation, it's really fucking cool. Thank you, Orion, for that one.
Vampires Are Creeps. We're posting these in Discord. Yes, the Time Theft Today channel is the best place to do that. I think outside of that, if somebody's not in the Discord and doesn't use Discord, you could I could bring up the email or our Tumblr.
Put it on Tumblr and tag us. Yeah, post it and tag us would probably be the best way.
I have one. I have somebody that did that.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, let's bring that up since we're talking about it. That's a great way. If you're on Tumblr or anywhere with tags, fucking start tagging Time Theft Today. I want to see more of that. Yeah, this is
ooh, wow.
Malorosaurus. I think it's in the chat.
In the chat. Hello. Thank you, Malorosaurus.
Yeah, there's a lot here.
Is that John Leguizamo as a clown?
Where?
Oh my god! Yeah, that's
next
John
to the
Leguizamo
neon sign. Next to the sign.
No, up in the top left.
Oh, that's John the Pest Leguizamo.
I mean, unless my eyes deceive me. And Malorosaurus, you have the same picture of Barry Keoghan in a bathtub with cunty gloves
That's
that
really
I
good.
have, and the same picture of Mads Mikkelsen to the left of that. This is literally we understand each other.
Is
We
that
understand each
fucking? Oh,
other.
wait, here. Can I? Let me see if I can make this a little bigger too.
Annie Lennox. I only speak the truth.
Yeah, there we go. So
Oh
might be a
yeah.
little bigger. Yeah,
Oh,
Annie. Or is that Tilda Swinton with a
yeah, Tilda
mustache?
Swinton. Keanu Reeves. I saw Alan Cumming in Cabaret. This is like right out of my book. Like this is. Did you listen to the Dresden Dolls? I'm gonna clock you and insult both of us by saying
I
Dresden Dolls listener.
I'm really interested in Tammy T Rex. I don't know what that is, but I'm really interested in it.
Malorosar says yes, lol. Yeah, I knew it. You probably liked Half Jack. You would probably listen to Half Jack and just cry.
What is this? Is this your persona? Because that's incredible.
Yeah, are they a bug?
Yeah, it's like a wasp.
That's dope.
It's my old one. B. Oh,
Nice.
that's really good.
Oh, that's really cool. And the backgrounds you've done here with the florals.
Yep.
I noticed that's something people did a lot of, like patterns. So there's like there's florals here. There's like this nice pink wallpaper with bats. That's really cool.
Oh yeah.
Jungle. A library.
Corian. Oh my god, I was just telling myself we are not putting any Amanda Palmer on the board.
Takes your hand off the stove. It's allowed though. It's fine. Regina Spektor. Yes. My fellow indie aging millennials in the chat.
Yes.
Goodbye, Amanda.
I don't know if we'll get to everybody in depth, so I like the idea. Why don't you pick one now too? We'll go back and forth, and we'll just pick ones,
Sure.
and then we can kind of.
Okay, the next one. That's a good call. Okay, the next one I got to do is got to be our friend photos because I just love it.
Oh yeah.
Just really a nice work of art too in general here. We got some jugs. We got Venus of Willendorf.
Oh, speaking of jugs, if you're here and you've submitted in the discourse and there are tits on or genitals or sex toys in your mood board, we can't show that. I might be able to whip up a censor, but it's going to be harder. So if you're here and can censor your mood boards, I know there was at least one or two that had some titties on there. Consider censoring them for us quickly. But if you can't, it's okay.
Perfect. Yeah, so we got Snuffleupagus here.
Yeah.
We got the golden ratio coming out of his eye. Like just the arrangement of this is so cool. The hippo from Fantasia. Lots of like clouds with like rainbows and sunsets. I'm putting on my Sky Kubakub audio description hat here.
Yeah.
Gale from Baldur's Gate casting some lightning.
Yeah. Photo, I'm thinking of your Tumblr username, although I'm realizing maybe I shouldn't say it unless but your Tumblr username now has some cloud in it that is
clouds and monsters. Yeah. We have is it Ripley or Ridley from Alien?
Ripley.
Sorry.
Ripley.
Again, sorry, women. Apologies to women. Ripley. Yeah.
Yeah. Ripley needs to go on mine too, for sure.
She's so strong with her fucking bush coming out that they had to CGI out her bush in the movie.
They tried to take from us.
Yes. Balto, which would absolutely be on my list too. That is primo furry bait from the Balto movie. Galadriel freaking out.
Specifically,
Also,
Galadriel freaking out is really good.
also Love Me in Despair, Godzilla, the alien from Treasure Planet, I believe. He's like in a
Yes,
little military coat.
yes, he's really
And
good.
that's a really good pick. I love like neurotic characters, like a Pearl Steven universe. I'm sorry, I like her. I like her. I know she hates the Irish. I know we hate Steven Universe. We make fun of Steven, but no,
Wait, what?
like you don't know about Pearl hates the Irish?
No, I didn't ever finish that.
No, it's a Tumblr meme where like people were just treating it as if it was official lore. That like,
Oh,
well, how dare you stand Pearl? She did all these horrible things, and she's racist
I
against the
guess
Irish.
That's really funny.
Yes.
She's a Thatcher stan.
Yeah.
Oh, she would be though. Um,
Yeah.
I like the
Uh,
I like the jugs.
The
That's
jugs are funny.
that's really good. I don't know if those are actually from the same Tumblr post and if there's a context, but I don't want the context. It's really funny that there's the jugs.
Yeah, and it's like the jugs that you would blow on if you were in like a hillbilly band,
Yeah.
country band, and you're blowing on the jugs, like a big ceramic, big cork in it, country house design. I have some interior design type stuff on my mood board too. Like you would put this in your little country kitchen as like decorations.
Yeah.
Um, we got
Uh,
some eggplants, I think,
yes,
and
eggplants. Yep.
yeah, and then we got the one actor from Arrested Development, the son, who's like really immature, but it's him on Veep, his character on Veep. Um, can't remember his name off the bat, but I just love this one. It has such a range. Oh, and this white alligator. I'm not sure what animated movie he's from,
Yeah,
but
I was curious about that too.
so yeah, feel free to correct us on anything we misidentified in the chat photo, but yeah, I just love this one. The range, the composition, and this to me, these are both. Well, everything we've looked at so far is such a good example of what a mood board can be. Of you're getting setting, you're getting mood. It's like powerful creature,
Oh no. Oh no. Oh man.
funny human characteristics.
Oop.
What happened?
I think you're coming back now.
Oh, okay. Did I freeze?
Yeah, you kind of cut out for a second, but you
Hello.
seem to be back now.
Okay. Um, yeah, I was just saying this is just like these all exemplify how much a mood board can take a bunch of disparate elements to give you this message of like celestial monster who is fat, but then also has these like human personality quirks that these other characters kind of evoke. So
I love how few people are on it.
yeah.
um I'll give some rep to to someone who was doing it during the show. Uh Marquez the GM has this one which has some real strong contenders in here. God, I don't feel like I know any of the names. We got a One Piece character. I don't think we have met this character in our. Looks like clown,
No.
like one of Buggy's boys.
Mhm.
Is this alien is from
That's Abe's Odyssey, Oddworld. Yes, love that game.
really strong.
Great choice.
Another One Piece.
Oh, it's Young Buggy. It's Young Buggy apparently.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I was wondering if it was Buggy.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Spoiler. Yeah, Buggy was a younger once. Yeah. This is from the last Unicorn, which I have heard great things about, but I've never seen, and I love the hair happening there.
And that's a very specific moment of like that character saying like I was once young, why didn't you come to me when I was young and pure? Like there's a lot of just
Wow.
like regret and sadness, and so I'm picking up what you're putting down, Marquez, there.
I very badly want to know who this is. That character is absolutely sick. Um, yeah, I don't know who that is though. And I also love this guy too. Again, I don't know who that is.
That
Uh,
drawing is so strong.
this is
That's the
the
newest
newest
Ghost
Ghost
Rider.
Rider.
He's
He's
Mexican.
Mexican. Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
yay!
And he's got. Does he have a muscle car instead of a bike? That's kind of fun too. I'm just guessing. There's no way. I could see one little tiny bit of this car. There's no way that's not a muscle car.
Yeah. Oh, the drawing is from the Phantom Toll booth.
Oh
And yes, he
hell
does have
yeah.
a car. Very cool. Yeah, I
And
love that.
that's really good. And see
Darth
this
Maul?
Darth Maul, yeah. Although
Oh my god.
I doesn't Darth Maul get some spider legs later? That would be good for on a mood board too. But I love the way he looks here. One fun thing about Darth Maul, I don't know if you've heard this, but Darth Maul has a earring. Have you heard this little bit of
No. It has
um
some significance.
no, so basically when they did the makeup for Darth Maul, the actor had an earring in and they forgot to take it out. So he's just got
Yes.
this like what is that like cartilage piercing? So
Mhm.
Darth Maul just canonically has that earring now because they just forgot to take it out, which is just such
Oh,
a fun little detail that I love. Like I think you can
so
see it
cool.
in some of the animated. Yeah, so you can see it in the
That's
animated stuff.
cool.
They kept it, uh,
That's really sweet.
which is such a fun little detail.
I really like that actor. And I think he's like a dancer too, or mostly he's like a stunt coordinator and things like that.
That makes
Um,
sense.
yeah, he's so good.
Marquez, my gender is little meow meow pathetic. That's really good.
But there's some badasses in there. There's some unhinged people. Make it a little spicy. Amethyst. Speaking of Steven Universe, I thought about putting Amethyst on mine.
She's really good.
I don't she's in that category of like little imps that I really identify with.
The
She's a little
shirt,
shit.
the shirt is really good. Like the shirt coming off the shoulder and you can see the bra strap is like that shit felt so fucking ahead of its time when that came out. Like I feel like that's not so wild now as a character design choice, but having that in the kids cartoon it too is really fun to me. And I love that she's crying in this picture.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Amethyst. They did not do enough with her. Like she needed more songs, she needed more everything. Um
All right, you got to pick for next.
sure, yeah. This next one is from Joey, Anarcho-Hobbitist.
Oh wait, this is one that has titties on it.
It
Hold
has
on.
titty. Oh, okay, hold on.
Oh wait, I can
Um,
probably here I can
you
it'll
just
be a test of my. All right, let's
live operating on air.
here, you got to keep it up. Keep it up.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, keep it up. Okay. All right, you'll do it. All right. Yeah, I'll just vamp while you're doing that. Um, like people shit on Steven Universe, but there was a lot of just like really good like depictions of like there was some decent gender diversity fucking with it. Like there was a lot of different styles of like androgyny and butchness and stuff like that. Like it was cute.
Yeah, I need to finish that show cuz I really enjoyed it. Uh
Yeah. Though there were, did they do some shit weird? Yes, but they made a lot of really cool choices as well. Oh, there's 2 sets of titties on this mood board. I didn't even. I was so wrapped up in the rapture of just fat
Well,
bellies that I didn't even notice the tits.
they're clearly dude tits, right? So like, I don't
Mhm.
think that they should get. Oh, is that a third?
Wait, where? I only see 2 sets.
This looks like a book cover. Oh,
Oh, I mean, oh my god, that's so small.
I know.
But I guess you never know. Yeah, good catch.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. I can't. Let's see if we can make this as big as possible, because we're not going to be able to zoom in, unfortunately. Oh wait, actually, I think we. No, I don't think we'll be
If I
able
zoomed
to.
in, it would change
Yeah.
the censoring, so I will not do that.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Oh, this is so fucking good, Joey. You're very big brained. Where to even start here? We got a lot of beautiful fat bodies in various stages of undress or in just cool outfits,
Yep.
um, both butch and casual, and elevated and dressy. We got manatees. We got a sleeping sun bear, I believe it is. We
Oh
have
yeah.
yeah, up in the top. We got a meme that says there's 3 mosh pit rules. Pick them up if they fall. If they want out, let them out. If they want in, let them in. These can be the rules of masculinity. And it's over a picture of just some fellas having a good time.
OBS has gone white and not responsive. So hopefully
Oh
we
my
don't
god.
the stream doesn't end again.
Let's see if we're still live.
We are still live. We are still live.
Okay.
Yeah, here you could bring it back up and we could keep talking about it cuz
Okay. Great.
but I don't know how much I could affect
You,
the stream.
okay.
Let's hope OBS gets its shit together.
Yeah. We got George Costanza saying, "All right, that's enough. I got to go home and take a nap." George Costanza is such a gender icon.
Yeah.
His fashion, his attitude, love him.
Absolutely.
We have a fat figure in just kind of like a small kind of bikini style, almost underwear, kind of just stretched back, lounging. We have I'm a fag over the I don't know what flag that is with the green and the gray and the black and white. People in the chat can let us know. I actually do not
Is that
know.
agender maybe?
Maybe. Yeah, that could be right.
A romantic. I knew it was an A.
A romantic. Very cool. Thank you. This really cool illustration that says, "Who are you when you're not performing?" We have a drawing of a fat figure in green cuffed shorts and an open button up on a bike. Really cute. Mothman.
Oh, is there a Mothman in there?
Yeah, right next to the guy on the bike. I believe that's a little Mothman type character.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. I love this beautiful, almost kind of painterly illustration of a fat guy with like a cummerbund and a dress shirt, and then also a huge flowing gown.
Like a tutu vibes almost.
Yeah, but like bigger, larger than a
Mm-hmm.
tutu, longer layers. A drawing of a fat body doing doing an injection that says "Joy is stored in the HRT."
That is really good.
Yeah, I love this nude. That is like pomegranates and then like a hairy chest with tits and like a happy trail. Really cool. A tweet that says from Colby Gordon that says transition is a way of stealing your body back from the state.
Oh, that's really good.
Very cool. He would not fucking want to be in a conventional romantic relationship. That's nice.
I was reminded of that South. I don't know what that is, but I wonder if that's a me. I think that might be a meme based on that like if
Yeah,
you
it's the Cartman. Yeah, he would not fucking say that. Yeah.
if you ask South Park characters their pronouns, how would they respond? Any, thank you. And it's like, he would not fucking say that.
Yeah, Eric Cartman would not say that. Um, and then we have a Butch figure with a chainsaw and goggles. We have a Butch person on a motorcycle with a cigar and sports sunglasses. We have a nude, topless person lifting weights. We have Ursula from behind with lots of like just nice like back fat and ass, looking really cool. And I'm not sure who that person is that's upside down. And then we have what's the actor from Roseanne? I'm blanking on his name right now. John Goodman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, holding a box of something, and he's in kind of like casual, like college kind of wear, a hat and a shirt that says LSU Fighting Tigers. Really cool exploration of fatness and butchness and aromanticism in here.
So OBS is still doing that. Here, let's see if this works. Nope.
I'm still sharing my screen. Sorry.
That I can't. Yeah, I cannot interact with OBS in any way. It's just doing that white.
Okay, so I should steer.
No, I think we're gonna have to. I mean, I guess we could do that because we're still sharing your screen. But I don't think it's gonna come back. So I think I'm gonna have to quit OBS and come back. So. Unfortunately,
okay. I mean, if we're going to be doing this looking at mood boards, could we just have a screen share the rest of the hour? Do you think? Or
I guess that's true. We only have an hour left. Yeah.
I'll just need to be careful about not showing titties.
Yeah, because I cannot interact with OBS in any way anymore. So.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I think I know the problem. I don't think I can fix it on air. It's just a plugin that I shouldn't have installed that is in very early beta that I think is doing this.
Okay.
I don't, and it might do it again, and I have to like uninstall it to fix it. So yeah, you could just we could just bring up another one. Maybe it'll fix itself.
Yeah, we'll just let it take a nap for a second. Few good ones here. This Grand Chicken Lord.
We still have the yellow.
Has a very
the censor bar just over the
I
screen.
know.
Here, let's just disconnect and reconnect real quick because I think it'll probably be okay for the rest of the hour, and I don't think it should actually end the stream. So if we're gonna disconnect for a second, if you might need to refresh, but we'll be